Chosen one, this message didn't find you by mistake. It is divine timing. God led you here for a reason. What you're going through, the struggle, the silence, the pressure, is not random. It's not punishment. It's preparation. You might feel like life is trying to break you, but it's not. It's waking you up to who you really are. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where your true power starts to rise. Let this message reach the part of you that's tired, the part that's doubting, the part that's been asking why. Because by the end of this, you'll understand. The weight you're carrying is not meant to crush you. It's meant to reveal the strength you didn't know was already inside of you. Before we go any deeper, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because this message isn't just a video, it's divine alignment. This is confirmation for the chosen ones walking through fire, wondering why life has felt so heavy lately. If your spirit resonates with this moment, type 77 in the comments right now. That number isn't just digits, it's a sacred signal, a divine code that tells the Most High and the universe, I'm awake, I'm aligned, I'm ready to rise in my true power. This message will not reach everyone, and that's by design. Only the truly chosen will feel the pull to stay until the end. And those who do, they won't just hear words, they'll remember who they are. They'll activate something ancient, something divine that's been sleeping beneath the surface for too long. This isn't just a one-time listen. It's a living message, layered with truth. Revisit it every time the battle gets heavy. Replay it whenever you start to forget the strength that lives inside of you. Because each time you return, a new revelation will unlock. Another divine key hidden in plain sight. Let your spirit receive this now, because the hard times weren't sent to break you. They were sent to wake you up. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The breaking point isn't the end. It's the beginning of power. Chosen one. There comes a moment in every divine journey where the soul feels stretched beyond its limit. You reach a place so heavy, so silent, so uncertain, that it makes you question everything. Your path, your purpose, even your prayers. You wonder if God is even listening, if you've been forgotten, or worse, if you're being punished. But hear this truth and let it settle into your bones. This breaking point is not the end of you. It's the doorway into your power. You see, we often confuse the collapse of what was with the end of who we are. But what's truly happening is deeper, more sacred, more intentional. God is not allowing the breaking to ruin you. He's allowing it to reveal you. The version of you that is crumbling under pressure was never meant to carry the crown you're being prepared for. That version was built in survival, built in trauma, built in systems of limitation and fear. It had to break, not because you failed, but because it fulfilled its purpose. The pain, the confusion, the sense of being lost. It's not punishment. It's divine transition. You're not losing control. You're being released from control. What's falling away wasn't built on the truth of who you really are. And when the false falls, the real you begins to rise. The strong you, the wise you, the awakened you. In the natural, breaking looks like failure, but in the spirit, it looks like rebirth. When a seed is planted, it must break open to grow. If you judge the seed by the breaking, you'd miss the miracle happening just beneath the soil. And right now, beneath the surface of your suffering, God is doing something supernatural. The soil may be dark, the silence may be deafening, but don't mistake the quiet for absence. That's where the roots are taking hold. Chosen one, the breaking is not personal. It's purposeful. It's heaven's way of stripping off what no longer aligns with your next level. Sometimes God allows everything around you to fall apart, so you can finally see that what you needed was always inside of you. You are not defined by what you lost, by who left, or by what didn't go according to plan. You are defined by what you're becoming through it. There is power in this moment. Not flashy, surface-level power, but what's divine, unshakable, soul-deep power that comes only from the breaking. This is where the mask comes off. This is where the real healing begins. This is where your connection to God gets personal, intimate, and raw. Not rehearsed, not religious, but real. Because when you've been broken, you no longer perform. You no longer pretend. You live in truth. So no, you are not breaking down. You are breaking through. The version of you that's rising from this will walk differently, speak differently, love differently, pray differently, because you'll know, deep down, that you've been through the fire and came out forged, not fragile. Let the breaking happen. Let it run its course. Let the old fall away. You don't need to rush to fix what God is tearing down for your benefit. Just trust that something greater is being born in the ashes. This is your becoming. This is your divine reconstruction. This is not the end of your story. It's the first chapter of your true power unfolding. Hold on. Stay with the process, because what's forming in you now, through the breaking, is stronger than anything that ever tried to break you. Chapter 2. God hides you to grow you. Chosen one. There are seasons in life when it feels like everything and everyone has disappeared. The phone stops ringing. The invitations stop coming. The people you thought would stand by you suddenly fall silent. Opportunities dry up. Doors close. And you're left wondering, did I do something wrong? Did God forget about me? Why does it feel like I've been buried beneath life itself? But let me speak a deeper truth into your spirit. You have not been buried. You have been planted. There is a sacred difference. Burial is the end, but planting is the beginning. When God hides you, it's not because you are unworthy, it's because you are becoming. You are entering a season of divine incubation. Just as a seed must be covered in darkness before it ever breaks through the soil, your spirit must also be hidden in sacred solitude before your true calling can emerge. In this quiet, unseen season, it may feel like you're forgotten, but chosen one, you are not forgotten. You are being formed. You are not rejected. You are being refined. You are not alone. You are under divine supervision. Isolation is often the sacred chamber where transformation takes place. When the noise fades, when the applause dies down, when no one is watching, that's when God does his most intimate and powerful work in your soul. He strips away the false labels. He detoxes your spirit from validation addiction. He teaches you how to stand in truth, not performance. He doesn't want a version of you that depends on the crowd. He wants a version of you that's grounded in the soul kingdom. In the hiding, you're learning to hear his voice above all others. You're learning to move by faith, not feedback. You're learning to be sustained by purpose, not popularity. Because where he's taking you, you can't afford to be fragile. You can't be driven by praise. You must be rooted in truth. Sometimes the most painful thing God can do is delay your exposure, because premature exposure leads to premature collapse. So he hides you, not to punish you, but to prepare you to carry what's coming without breaking under the weight of it. You were never overlooked. You were being overseen. You were never abandoned. You were being anointed. You were never lost. You were being led through a process of divine maturation. So don't rush this season. Don't despise it. Don't try to force open doors that God Himself has gently closed. Let the quiet teach you. Let the stillness strip you. Because when you finally emerge from this hidden place, you won't come out empty. You'll come out evolved, enlightened, elevated. And like the seed that breaks through the surface, you will rise, not just seen, but rooted. Not just known, but anointed. Not just visible, but unshakable. Chosen one, don't curse the hiding. It's holy. It's where God grows His greatest warriors. And your rise, when it comes, will not be small. Because what God grows in secret, He reveals in glory. Chapter 3. Pressure reveals purpose. Chosen one, there's a weight you've been carrying that no one fully understands. There are nights when it feels like the very air around you is closing in. Days where you wake up weary, and even your prayers feel pressed and heavy. The pressure has been intense, emotional, mental, spiritual. You may have even whispered, "God, how much more can I take?" But hear this. Pressure is not punishment. Pressure is preparation. In the natural, pressure makes us uncomfortable. It forces us into places where we can no longer pretend, no longer delay, no longer avoid the growth we've been postponing. Pressure has a way of pushing out the truth, not only about the world around us, but about who we really are. And that's why God uses it. Pressure squeezes out the impurities. It removes the fluff. It breaks down the surface layers so that the real you, the anointed, purposed, divine you, can rise to the surface. Think of the diamond. It is not formed in beauty. It is not formed in comfort. It is formed under extreme heat and relentless pressure. And yet, because of that process, it becomes one of the strongest, most valuable elements on earth. Chosen one, you are no different. The weight you're feeling is not meant to crush you. It's meant to reveal the rare and powerful treasure within you. You've been asking for clarity. You've been seeking purpose. But purpose doesn't always show up in peace. Sometimes it's found in pressure. Sometimes it's in the storm, the loss, the heartbreak, the delay, the places where you were forced to dig deeper, fight harder, and depend fully on God. It's in those very moments that what's inside of you begins to awaken. The gifts, the wisdom, the resilience, the spiritual authority. They don't develop in calm waters. They develop in the furnace of pressure. Chosen one, don't curse what's stretching you. Don't resist what's refining you. Every challenge, every betrayal, every closed door is part of the pressure that's pushing you into position. God is not letting it happen to destroy you. He's letting it happen to unveil your purpose. You carry something this world hasn't seen yet, something sacred, something powerful, something heaven ordained. But it can't stay buried inside of you forever. And that's why the pressure comes, not to punish you, but to deliver what you've been carrying. This pressure is divine labor, and the promise is about to be born. You're being stretched because you're about to expand. You're being tested because you're about to be trusted. You're being pressed because you're about to produce something that will change not just your life, but the lives of those connected to your assignment. So breathe, endure. Don't run from the pressure. Rise within it. Because when the pressure lifts, and it will, you won't be the same. You'll be stronger. You'll be clearer. You'll be more aligned, more refined, more powerful in your purpose than ever before. What God is doing in you is worth the pressure. And what's coming after it will make every tear, every test, every lonely moment feel like preparation for the glory you're about to walk in. Stay grounded, chosen one. You're not breaking down. You're breaking through into purpose. Chapter 4. Pain wakes up the power. You forgot you had chosen one. Pain has a voice. It speaks when all the noise around you has faded. It shows up uninvited, sudden, raw, and consuming. It doesn't care about your schedule, your plans, or your comfort. Pain shows up to get your attention. And as difficult as it is to accept, pain doesn't come to ruin you. It comes to reveal you. Before the pain, maybe you were coasting. You were functioning, but not fully living. You were getting by, but not truly connected to who you are or why you're here. Pain shatters the illusion of safety. It pulls back the curtain on who you thought you were and invites you to meet the deeper version of yourself. Pain strips away the distractions. It removes the masks. It shakes the foundation and exposes what's real and what's not. When you're in pain, you're forced to stop pretending. You stop depending on others to validate you. You stop seeking comfort in shallow things. And in that stillness, that sharp, quiet ache, you begin to remember who you are. Chosen one, the pain you're experiencing is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to awaken what life tried to bury. The strength you forgot you had, the courage you once silenced to keep the peace, the resilience that's been lying dormant beneath fear and disappointment. Pain wakes all of it up. This isn't just emotional discomfort. This is spiritual transformation. Before this pain, maybe you were surviving. You were doing enough to make it through, but you weren't thriving in the truth of your calling. But now you're waking up. Now you're beginning to see with spiritual eyes. You're feeling something stir in your spirit, something ancient, something divine, something unbreakable. This pain has pushed you to your knees, not in defeat, but in surrender. And that's exactly where your power begins. Because now, you're no longer trying to do it all in your own strength. Now you're reaching for something greater. You're fighting with faith. You're praying with fire. You're walking with a sense of purpose that didn't come from comfort. It came from being crushed and still choosing to rise. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt with spiritual muscle. You are not weak. You are being strengthened by fire. You are not lost. You are being redirected to a higher path. Pain will teach you things joy never could. It will bring you closer to God in ways peace never demanded. Because in the middle of pain, you realize what truly matters: your spirit, your connection to the divine, your purpose on this earth. This pain, as unfair as it feels, is not a punishment. It is an awakening. It is God's way of shaking you out of complacency and reminding you that you were made for more. More than survival, more than cycles, more than self-doubt. And when the tears dry and the healing begins, you'll look back and see that this pain was not a setback. It was your spiritual rebirth. You'll rise with a voice that carries authority, with eyes that see beyond the surface, with a heart that understands pain and knows how to lead others through it. That's what pain does for the chosen ones. It doesn't paralyze you, it activates you. Chapter 5. Resistance builds spiritual strength. Chosen one, you may not see it yet, but everything you've been through has been a divine training ground. The storm didn't come to scatter you, it came to strengthen you. The heartbreak didn't come to harden you, it came to humble and empower you. The resistance you faced wasn't just random opposition. It was God's way of developing the spiritual muscle you would need for your divine assignment. Think about it. In the physical, muscles only grow when they are placed under pressure, when they are stretched, pushed, and tested. Without resistance, there is no strength, and your spirit works the same way. God doesn't build warriors in ease. He builds them in the battlefield, in the valleys, in the late nights of weeping and the early mornings of silent prayers. That's where your real strength is being forged. Every no you've received wasn't a rejection, it was a redirection. Every door that closed in your face wasn't a setback, it was a setup for something greater. Every betrayal you endured, it taught you discernment. It taught you how to protect your peace without turning bitter. Every loss you experienced, it taught you that you could let go and still keep your heart open to love. And every time you were overlooked, underestimated, or dismissed, it drove you deeper into God. It taught you to stop relying on external approval and start walking in internal conviction. You stopped needing the crowd because you discovered the power of being chosen by heaven. Chosen one, you didn't just survive those battles, you were strengthened by them. The fire didn't burn you, it refined you. The pain didn't paralyze you, it positioned you. The silence didn't mean God abandoned you. It meant He was speaking to you in a way that only stillness could translate. You are becoming spiritually strong, not in spite of the resistance, but because of it, because of the storms, because of the unanswered prayers, because of the nights you had to wipe your own tears, lift your own head, and still move forward in faith. God has been training you, not just to survive this world, but to transform it, to walk in power, not fear, to lead in truth, not ego, to speak with boldness, not bitterness, to stand firm, even when no one else stands with you. Every resistance you faced has shaped your spirit into something sacred. You've been conditioned for the calling. You don't crumble like you used to. You don't doubt like you used to. You don't need external validation like you used to. Why? Because resistance taught you who you are. It taught you to trust God more than your feelings. It taught you to walk by faith, not sight. You are no longer the same person you were at the beginning of this journey. You've grown, you've matured, you've been forged in fire, and now you carry a weight of spiritual authority that didn't come from books or sermons. It came from walking through the flames and coming out with the oil of endurance. Chapter 6. The enemy attacks what he fears. Chosen one. Have you ever noticed that the moment you began to rise, truly rise, the warfare intensified, the pressure increased, the trials became heavier? Just when you decided to choose obedience over comfort, healing over hiding, and faith over fear, life seemed to hit you harder. That's not just life. That's spiritual resistance. That's evidence that you're waking up into something the enemy hoped you'd never discover. The enemy doesn't waste his energy on those who pose no threat. He's not interested in the distracted. He's not worried about the complacent. But the moment you became intentional, the moment you started walking with purpose, breaking generational cycles, and aligning with the Most High, you sent a shockwave through the spirit realm. You became visible. You became dangerous to darkness. You see, spiritual attacks are not proof that God has abandoned you. They are often confirmation that you're on the right path. Attacks come when you're nearing territory that belongs to you. They come when the enemy knows that if you take even one more step in faith, you'll activate something unstoppable. He wanted to distract you before you discovered your anointing. He wanted to break you before you built anything that would last. He wanted you to give up, because the moment you don't, he loses ground. But here you are, still standing, still seeking, still trusting, and that alone terrifies the enemy. Every battle you faced has tried to convince you to shrink, to silence your voice, to question your identity. But chosen one, you don't come from a weak lineage. You come from divine royalty. You were born for such a time as this, and what's inside of you is greater than anything that comes against you. The enemy knows your future is filled with impact. He knows your voice carries deliverance. He knows that your story, the one you're still walking through, has the power to unlock healing in others. That's why he attacked your mind. That's why he tried to convince you that you were broken beyond repair. That's why he sent betrayal, discouragement, fear, and doubt. Because deep down, he knows something you're just beginning to understand. You are chosen. And once a chosen one fully awakens, nothing can stop them. This isn't just about you. This is about the people connected to your calling. This is about the chains you're meant to break, the light you're meant to carry into dark places, and the legacy you're meant to leave behind. So don't take the attacks personally. Take them as prophetic confirmation that you're on the edge of divine expansion. You're not just being tested, you're being trusted. God is allowing the pressure not to crush you, but to reveal the power he placed inside you before you were ever born. Let this chapter remind you. The attacks are not a sign that you've failed. They're a sign that you've become a threat. The enemy doesn't attack empty vessels. He attacks those who carry the oil. And chosen one, your cup is full, even if you can't feel it yet. Keep walking. Keep praying. Keep showing up. Because you're not losing. You're learning how to war in the Spirit. And that's exactly what this next season will require. Chapter 7. The power within you is greater than what's around you. Chosen one, by now it should be clear. The fire didn't consume you. The wilderness didn't destroy you. The storm didn't take you out. In fact, everything that came to break you only exposed what God had already placed inside you. Resilience, wisdom, faith, and divine authority. You see now, don't you? The hard times weren't sent to weaken you. They were sent to wake you up, to strip away the false narratives and broken identities so you could finally see yourself the way heaven sees you. You are not weak. You are chosen. You are not overlooked. You are anointed. You are not behind. You are aligned with divine timing. Nothing you've been through has been wasted. Not the heartbreak, not the betrayal, not even the silence. Each valley carved space for greater vision. Each delay made room for deeper preparation. Each battle trained your hands for spiritual war. You had to walk through what you did so that when you speak, your words carry weight. You had to feel what it was like to be low so you could lead others to rise. You had to break open so the light inside you could finally pour out. Chosen one, the power within you is not your own. It is the divine power of the Most High, flowing through your spirit, awakened by pain, sharpened by pressure, and sealed through faith. That's why you're still standing. That's why nothing the enemy threw at you could take you out. Because when God places his hand on you, no environment, no enemy, no system can override that calling. Your strength is no longer tied to circumstances. It's rooted in identity. You no longer need things around you to be perfect for you to feel powerful. Because your power isn't around you, it's within you. It's in your persistence. It's in your prayer life. It's in the way you love, despite what you've lost. It's in the way you keep showing up when no one is watching. It's in your endurance, quiet but divine, shaped in shadows and revealed in light. God is raising you up not just for yourself, but for others. For those still stuck in the same darkness you are called to overcome. For those silently suffering, waiting for someone like you to be the proof that survival is possible, that transformation is real. You're not just a survivor. You're a carrier of truth. You're not just a voice. You're a vessel. You're not just gifted. You are called. The same power that carried you through every storm, that lifted you when you had no strength left, will now launch you into divine victory, not by might, not by force, but by the Spirit of the living God that dwells within you. So walk boldly, not because life is suddenly easy, but because your spirit has become unshakably. You've seen too much, learned too much, healed too much to go back. You now carry the authority of someone who knows who they are and whose they are.